So students, very quickly let me discuss about the population inversion, because that actually plays a key role in the production of laser. Okay, now if you take the Boltzmann equation, what do we observe in that equation? Well, you will see that n, whatever be your final number of atoms in the ith energy level by n naught, it is equal to e to the power minus of h nu I, whatever be your or ei, let us put it as ei, delta of ei, the difference ei minus ef, delta of ei by kt, isn't it? Now just observe one thing over here. This, for very high temperature, if you take this as infinity, this will be 0. So at most this value ni will be equal to n naught, but we can never make this more than n naught. So with two levels of excitation, if we have two level excitation, then we cannot have population inversion with the higher lying excited state having energy more than the ground state, having the number of atoms more than the ground state. So this is the diagram. You see, you have two such levels. You can at most take all the atoms in the ground state to the excited state following the Boltzmann equation which I showed you just now. Okay, but you just cannot have more than that. Okay, how can you therefore, so using two level direct pumping, by using two level, population inversion is not achieved effectively like this for this situation. So so what should we do now? So direct pumping to the higher energy state cannot be made more populated, so we go for three levels like this. If we do three level pumping with the middle level as the metastable state, then this can be achieved. What is the metastable state? A state which is having relatively more lifetime than the corresponding short-lived states. These are the this is ground state, however, but this is a short-lived state. Okay, so here if you have, say, a 3-level pumping or a 4-level pumping, as you see over here, then probably population inversion can be achieved, so that you have more atoms in the higher level than in the lower level or ground state. So here you see one such situation I have shown over here with 3-level pumping. Okay, and this is another situation which I show over here for 4-level pumping. Okay, so you see, if you use a 3-level pumping, then after excitation, if de-excitation takes place through rapid decay to this metastable state, you have more atoms over here than in the ground state, so you can have a laser beam. Similarly, if you can do 4-level pumping, then also you can achieve a similar situation and get lasing action. So here such pumpings take place in two modes. One is the pulsed mode, which is used for, which we have for ruby laser. Okay, and another is a continuous mode of operation. The continuous mode of operation which we use for helium neon laser. Okay, so whenever the transition from the higher level state to the lower level state be a slow process, then laser emission takes place in a pulsed mode. So, and whenever it is not the case, then laser emission takes place in a continuous mode. Okay, now let us therefore address this situation of the name that we give to a level having number of atoms more than the atoms in the ground state. Okay, so if the number of atoms exceed the number of atoms that are there in the ground state, we say that population inversion has taken place, and this is also referred to as negative temperature state. Remember, temperature doesn't become negative. As you have seen from the Boltzmann law, the maximum temperature that you can achieve will give population equal to the population of the ground state. So to get population higher than that of the ground state, if you make the temperature negative, then only this will be possible. Okay, making temperature negative doesn't mean that the temperature really becomes negative, because in the real true situation it does not happen. But the situation of population inversion seemingly looks like as if it is making the temperature negative, but this does not happen. What happens is that the number of atoms in the excited state is now more than the number of atoms in the ground state, so we call it the negative temperature state. Okay, so so much so for your laser. I would ask all of you to read helium laser, helium neon laser and ruby laser, and see whether you have understood it or not. But then before I finish off, let me do one problem at least on laser, so that you can just sit for your exam on Monday. So what is the problem? Let just write down the problem on laser. Well, find the difference of energy between, so you have to find the difference of energy between two energy levels of neon atom if the transition between these levels gives a photon of wavelength. So problem number 1, you have photon of wavelength 632.8 nanometers. So you have to calculate the number of photons emitted per second to give a power output of 2 milliwatt. So you are actually looking for a power output of 2 milliwatt. Okay, so you have to calculate the number of photons. How will you do that? Well, you can calculate delta E from here, which is equal to E2 minus E1, which is equal to H nu, which is equal to Hc by lambda. So you can calculate delta E in EV. So after calculating delta E in EV, if n be the number of photons which are emitted per second to give a power output of 2 milliwatt, then P will be equal to n times delta E, isn't it? So the number will be equal to P by delta E. So you have to calculate P by delta E. So please do so, okay, and find out the number of photons from here. N is equal to P by delta E. So let me get the answer from you all for P by delta E. Okay. Next problem. Well, in a lasing process, the ratio of population of two energy states E1 and E2 being a metastable state is. So problem number 2. In a lasing process, the ratio of population of two energy states E1 and E2 being a metastable state is 1 is to 1.009 into 10 to the power 23. Okay, so you have to calculate the wavelength of the laser beam at a temperature T equal to 320 Kelvin. Okay, so how will you do that? Well, if N1 and N2 be the number of atoms per unit volume of the energy states E1 and E2, then n1 by n2 is equal to 1 by 1.009 into 10 to the power 23. Okay, so well, temperature T is 320 Kelvin, isn't it? So you apply Boltzmann relation. What is Boltzmann relation? Boltzmann relation is N2, you can get N2 by N1 from here. N2 by N1 1.009 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 1. So N2 by N1 from Boltzmann relation is e to the power minus E2 minus E1 by KT. So you can find this out. Okay, so from here you have to calculate the wavelength lambda. Alright, if you can calculate delta E, you know delta E from here. If you calculate delta E is equal to hc by lambda. So lambda will be equal to hc by delta E. So you can calculate lambda. Applying the formula delta E equal to hc by lambda, you can calculate lambda equal to hc by delta E, and then you can get the results. So please get me the results for these two values, okay, as your test for today's class. And on Monday 8 o'clock you are having your test in optics. Let's stop and thank you, students.